Hi everyone, my name is Jen and this is Bee's House of Plants. Welcome back. So today I am going to be doing a monthly favorites video, which I do at the end of every single month, where I show you some of my favorite houseplants. However, before we get into that, I do want to quickly touch on the current situation happening in the United States. I don't know when this video will be going up, but at the time of filming this past weekend, there were protests all across the United States in response to the murder of George Floyd by the police. I have spoken out in support of the Black Lives Movement on my Instagram page. I have linked resources, petitions to sign, places to donate to, all on there as well. I've also made a guide on all the different plant shops that have made significant donations to Black Lives Matter organizations or are currently doing some kind of sale where partial proceeds will be going to different organizations, and that is highlighted on my Instagram page if you want to check that out. I am going to be talking about houseplants today, which, you know, in the scheme of the whole world is quite frivolous. However, I am going to do that with the acknowledgement and the understanding that the issues of racial injustice is not something we solve in a week. It's not something that you post once about on social media and it's solved. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot more education and a lot more understanding to work towards. So I am going to be talking about houseplants, but I am also going to take the initiative to further educate myself on the topic, to find people that are more knowledgeable on it, and I hope you all do the same. Of course, I am still urging you to sign the petitions if you haven't already and to make donations. However, I am also going to urge you to look at your community to see how different people have reacted to the current situation at hand and whether or not you believe that their reactions align with your values and your beliefs, and take a note to see who you are going to be supporting in the future. Okay, so now let's talk about some plants. So once again, these are in no particular order, but yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first plant I want to share with you is my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you will know that I shared this as one of my favorites back in January. But I've had a little bit of an issue with it. I think in like early January or something like that, around that time period, I overwatered it and the leaf ended up basically like rotting off, and I had several leaves in a row rot off basically. And then I transplanted it into a terracotta pot and I lowered the amount that I was watering significantly. So I was already watering only, I think, like once every other week, and then I lowered it down to like basically like once a month in the winter time. I think I am going to water it a little bit more now that it's really hot here. But I also transplanted it into a terracotta pot, so hopefully it does a better job of wicking. So I have that issue where several leaves were rotting off because of overwatering, and then so this plant was in my mini indoor greenhouse for like recuperation, and then I was taking it out for a watering, and the newest leaf that had unfurled, I basically snapped it off accidentally while I was trying to take it out of the indoor greenhouse for watering. So I ended up doing a little bit of a chop with it to get rid of the stem part for the leaves that rotted off and also the leaf that I damaged. And so it's taken a little bit for this plant to come back because whenever you cut a plant, it obviously slows down the growth immensely. But it has come back. There are now two new leaves. There is this leaf, and then there's this leaf that just finished unfurling like 2 days ago, which I'm super excited about. And I feel like this plant has finally found its groove again, because this leaf came out pretty much immediately as this leaf was finished unfurling. So hopefully now that it's summer, I'm going to expect a lot of fast growth. Okay, so that's my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I also have a second Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. This I grew from a cutting, if you remember my mystery box video. I ended up putting putting this plant into LECA, which it really loves. Highly recommend putting this plant into LECA. So these 2 leaves were what came originally with the cutting, and then since then it's put out 3 new leaves. These leaves don't have any fenestrations yet, but that's fine. I'm sure it's going to come with maturity. Yeah, so far it's been growing basically like a leaf every 2 weeks, so I'm really happy with that. But it's really been liking LECA so far. I'm gonna need to put a little bit more water in this because that's very dry. So it's definitely one of my favorites for this month. Alright, moving on to the next favorite for this month. That would be this beauty right here. So I don't know if I've ever officially showed this plant on my channel, but this is a philodendron melanochrysum crossed with a varicosum. This is what it looks like. It has that nice velvety texture. The backs aren't as red as normal varicosums, but it's like a kind of lightly red, I guess. Has that nice velvety texture, nice heart-shaped leaved, and I have definitely heard from more than one person that this hybrid, the Milano X varicosum, is a much easier hybrid to grow in your house, or sorry. And I've heard from a lot of people that own both the varicosum, melanochrysum, and this hybrid that this is a plant that grows very well indoors, and it's much easier to grow in your home than the traditional varicosum and the Milano. So I definitely agree with that because this plant is currently not in any kind of extra humidity situation. It's just on my plant shelf. It usually lives right here, when this is where the humidifier is, so it does get like a lot of humidity from that humidifier, but honestly, like, I hardly ever refill that humidifier because the humidity level in here right now it's 55%, and it's usually around there, like 50 to 60%. So a lot of times I just don't refill that humidifier, and this has been perfectly happy. There's no brown tips, no brown edges. This leaf grew just fine, and it honestly didn't take that long to root. I am going to be transferring this out of sphagnum into an actual medium soon. I haven't decided whether that's going to be LECA or soil just yet. I am leaning towards LECA just because I really like LECA right now. But yeah, still thinking about that. If you have this hybrid, let me know what your care conditions are and if you would recommend I put it in LECA or not. Okay, so the third plant I want to share with you is kind of a different plant for my channel. So this is a Burroughs Tale. Here, I'll show you a close-up of the Burroughs Tale. And it's different from my channel because I never share succulents really, besides like my string of hearts, which is right here. I really don't ever share succulents because I'm really bad at growing succulents. I really like to water, and plants that don't like to be watered usually just don't do that well in my environment. And also a lot of my areas where I keep my plants aren't all that bright, and so they just don't usually get as much light as they want. But this one has actually been doing quite well. I feel like it's grown quite a bit since I got it. I got it back in December. There's actually a vlog of me getting it. It's the very first video that I ever uploaded on my channel, and I bought it in a teeny tiny 2-inch container. I repotted it to this 4-inch, and it's kind of bare in the middle because, you know, they don't really like self-propagate. You kind of have to propagate them, and I'm too scared to propagate it, but I might do it soon because I kind of want to fill this empty bare center spot. But it's definitely growing, which I really like, and it lives directly underneath the grow light. You can kind of see right here. So yeah, really liking this so far. Okay, so the next one I want to share with you, I actually don't have to hold it up for you because it is currently being trained to go up my wall in my bedroom. So I actually made a video about it a while back, I think back in like December, where I made this cute like bamboo hoop situation, and I had this plant in a macrame hanger, and the plant was attached to the bamboo hoops. Eventually I just didn't love it because the plant always looked dehydrated and always looked limp, and I think it's because I couldn't properly water it because it was hanging up, so it's just kind of difficult to keep consistently watered. But eventually the bamboo hoop like fell down, and it like didn't hurt me or anything because it's very, very light. But once it fell down, I took that as an opportunity to kind of redo that whole setup. I moved the bamboo hoop to the other side of my room, and then I moved the plant from the macrame hanger just down to my nightstand, and then I attached the plant directly to the wall versus attaching the plant to the bamboo hoops, and it looks so much cuter. And now that it's at a lower level, it is also so much easier for me to water it properly. It's been growing very well. It looks really, really good, and I feel like I've kind of found my rhythm with having a plant that's attached to the wall, because I like to water the majority of my plants in my bathtub, giving it kind of like a rain shower situation. But yeah, so I'm really, really loving it so far. And also now that it's spring and summertime, there is more light, and I feel like that has really helped because I kind of have it training away from the light. But I feel like because there's more light for the more of the day now, the leaf size are actually like pretty big and pretty okay, versus before they were coming out kind of small. So yeah, I am loving that. I can't wait for the entire wall to be covered with the pothos. I think it's gonna look amazing. Okay, so the very last plant I want to share with you this month is also another pothos. So this is a Cebu Blue Pothos. It is a gift from my plant friend Vintage Plants. You can find her on Instagram. I'll put her username right here, but she gave this to me like quite a while back. I want to say like late January, early February, and I was doing okay, but it wasn't doing like tremendously well. And then I repotted it, and I feel like that like helped it a lot because I put it into my mix, which this is the mix that I am accustomed to, and this is the mix where I've tailored my watering habits to, so it's been a lot happier ever since then. I also ended up, there was kind of like a long trail, and I ended up wrapping that trail. You can't tell. Okay, maybe if I hold it like this. I don't know if you can see anything. Okay, I don't know if you can see. Maybe not. Maybe I'll get like have to get like a B-roll shot. But basically there was kind of a longer like stem like this, and I ended up wrapping it around the base so that it could root more nodes and so the plant could look fuller, and it worked, and I think it looks really, really good. It's going to start trailing soon, and I'm very, very excited about that. I think it's going to look really, really good. I'm still on the fence about whether or not I want to put this on a moss pole, because if I let it trail, it'll look great, but it'll always have this like leaf shape. But I kind of want to see the Cebu Blue in its like mature form, which has fenestrations, which is also really, really cool. So I'm thinking about whether or not I should put this on a moss pole. So let me know if you have yours on a moss pole and how you feel about it. Okay, so that's all I have for you this month. Please let me know what your favorite plants are for the month of May in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and comment. It really helps my channel out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!